Just everything is gorgeous in this game. It's kind of like John Hammond from Jurassic Park.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
Totally non-polluting, top of the line, spared no expense. We spared no expense.
This video is brought to you by Fallen Dominion Studios. Check out their website at fallendominionstudios.com. Folks, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kaz, and today I'm bringing to you a review of the Grimm Forest. Now, this game is by Skybound Games and Druid City Games. It's developed by Tim Eisner, and this game goes for 14 up. It's about 40 to 60 minutes. It's for 2 to 4 players. This is a game about fairy tales, and the brothers Grimm tales, and I don't mean Grimm the TV show, which, by the way, you should go watch. It's an awesome show. In this, you take on the role of one of the 4, not 3, 4 little pigs, and be the first one to build 3 houses before everybody else. It's a race to the finish as you get help from different fairy tale creatures that you may or may not recognize in this game. What I'm going to do is give you kind of a general idea of how to play, and then I'm going to get you back for my final thoughts. That's better. Now, let's get right down to it. It'd be an absolute crime to start this review off without looking at these gorgeous components. The fact that they use the miniatures for dragon, the troll, the giant, the wolves, you know, the actual pigs that you're using is pretty amazing. They went to all this extra effort. This shows me that this company just goes above and beyond when it comes to displaying their product off, that they love attention to detail, that they care about quality. These kinds of things just sing to me, okay? The fact that they went and used game trays, right? They got all these beautiful components and then they put them into beautiful inserts. I wish every game company did this. There are, and it seems like it's on the rise now, but I'll tell you, the Grimm Forest really blew my mind with the fact that they went this extra mile, okay? Wow. The artwork, just everything is gorgeous in this game. Everything is gorgeous. I mean, it's kind of like John Hammond from Jurassic Park.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
Totally non-polluting, top of the line, spared no expense. We spared no expense.
Spared no expense.
Now with all the gushing out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of how it looks and plays. Now the first thing you're going to start out with is your playboard, and you're going to get your own pig miniature, and you're going to get your gather cards, and you're also going to get a little player aid that's going to assist you when it comes to the gather and build phases, because there are 2 phases of the game. And the gather phase, you're going to be able to gather from the brickyard, forest, fields, or possibly the market if you have 4 players. But if you do not have 4 players, you take the market board out of the game. And there's going to be a number of resources on each. Now also there is a die included for a 2-player game. That's going to be like a neutral player. But for the purpose of this, we're going to just pretend we're playing a 3-player game, and we're going to move that out of the way. It's not going to be in the game at all. What everybody's going to do is you're going to choose a gather card. This is basically saying which marketplace, in a sense, that you want to go to, whether it's the brickyard, forest, or the fields, okay? Now, throughout the course of the game, you're going to gain fable cards that will assist you in doing what you want to do in the game. Now, if you choose to, you can actually play a fable card. You don't have to, but you can choose it at the beginning of the round. Once everybody's picked the type of gather and fable cards that they want, they would go ahead and reveal fables. You would fire these fables according to their timing. In this case, you've got Chinny, Chin, Chin, and Wolf being played. Now, if any player is caught by the wolf, destroy all resources at that location before anyone can collect them. And that's when you'll bring out the Wolf Mini. You also have another player playing Chinny Chin Chin. If you're at a location with a monster, you may move to a different location of your choice. If no monsters were played, draw 1 fable card. After fables have been revealed, you'll go ahead and reveal gather cards, and at that point you now go to the location that you want to collect resources off of. Now if you're the only one that goes there, you're going to get all the resources, but if other players go there, you have to allocate those resources out pretty evenly, and the rules will explain that. Now the second phase that you have is the build phase. You can do up to 2 different actions, and you can do multiples of the same kind. For example, you can build a house section. Now your primary goal in the game is to try to build 3 houses pretty much before anyone else. Now you're going to start with your foundation, and then you're going to build your wall, and then you're going to build your roof. You can build 5 houses ultimately, but you cannot build 2 of the same type of house as you go. For example, you can't build 2 straw houses as you go. You have to build like a straw and a brick house necessarily. And once you've completed that, maybe that straw house, then you can go ahead and build another one if you want to. You could also gain a straw, wood, or brick, just one of the type. You could also do a special action on that turn in terms of like friend cards and things. Now, if you're the first person to build a specific type of house, you get the first builder bonus tile. And you can gain 1 friend, 2 fable cards, or 1 of each resource. Now, the houses have to be built in sections, obviously, but once you actually build the wall, you're now able to go ahead and gain a friend card. Friend cards can be anything from like Pinocchio, who pretty much is a liar. Start of the round, say out loud which gather card you'll be playing at the end of the gather phase. If you told the truth, gain 2 resources of any one type produced at that location. You could have Sleeping Beauty. Choose a player. They must play the top card from the Fable deck as their Fable card without looking at it. You have the Fairy Godmother. She has a special action of gaining 2 Fable cards, and then there's also discard action. You have Thumbelina in the mix. You have the Huntsman. He's a monster slayer. You have Aladdin, which, by the way, I'm kind of working on my inner Aladdin right now with my hat. You can also pass the friend card because you can only have 1 at a time. Let's say you have 1 friend card that you're enjoying. You don't want to get rid of that one, so you now pass it along to another person at the table. They cannot refuse it. They have to take the friend card, and if they already have one, they have to discard their previous friend card. Now, another action you can do on your turn is draw a Fable card. You have things like the Bridge Troll. End of gather phase, choose 1 player at a location with a bridge troll. They must give you half the resources they gathered this turn, rounded down. The Crystal Ball. When revealed, choose 1 player and peek at their face down gather card. You may then change your gather card. The Giant. End of gather phase. All players of the Giant's location must discard their friend, all Fable cards from their hand, and 1 resource of that type. And in general, that's pretty much how you play Grimm Forest. Play is going to continue round after round after round, gaining resources and building until finally the first person to build 3 houses is the winner, and there are tiebreakers, and that's explained in the rules. Now let's get back to my final thought.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.
So what did I think of it? That's my review. I'm kidding. No, this is a great family game. Now, there is a caveat to that, which I'll get to in terms of a possible negative, but it's not a big one. So, you know, whatever. Now, the first thing I want to get out of the way, production quality. You saw the components. You saw what was in there. You see the artwork. Absolutely how gorgeous. Even the box is absolutely gorgeous. This game hits all the right notes in terms of production quality. It's one of the best I've ever seen personally. Now, the only one that tends to rival it from last year, I'm talking about in released of last year, for me personally, is Who Goes There. But this one right here, if you're talking about something I'd love to see on a mass market game shelves and things like that, like at your local Walmart or what have you, the production quality just destroys everything that's probably out there. If I was going to grade this game based on insert alone, this would get 10 out of 10. I mean, it's just amazing in that way. And then the components, right? The components are ridiculously well done. Now, I have heard the complaints, very, very few, but I have heard them out that this game may be overproduced. I don't agree with that. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, you do have some pieces that only come out every once in a while, and when they do come out, sometimes they're there for a very short time and then they go away. But the thing about it is this game provides such a great table presence. It provides such a, let's put it this way, when somebody's walking by and they see this game on the table, they've never heard of it. All they're going to do is go, "Ooh, show me more." You know, they want to come up and see it. And so for that alone, it's got a great attractor to the eye. And I think that can't be overstated. Now, personally for me, there are maybe some games that are way overproduced, games that you just have tokens that are there for no reason, or miniatures that may be there for just absolutely no reason but window dressing. In this game, that doesn't happen, and that's why I don't think it's overproduced. The other thing is, if it was coming down to overproduction versus underproduction, I'd prefer overproduction every day of the week. You know, granted, yeah, the costs go up, but I don't want a game that looks ugly. The theme's not like necessarily the biggest thing that draws me into it, honestly. Now, it works well. I like it a lot. But the Grimm, Brothers Grimm and all that, that's cool. I do like the Grimm TV show, which actually utilized a lot of that. That was actually something that made me like this theme even more because I'd watched that before I played this. All 6 seasons, go check it out. But when I'm going into a board game, I'm not necessarily thinking this kind of theme is my main draw. That's not normally what I think. I love sci-fi, I love fantasy. I'm not necessarily into fairy tale fantasy quite as much. I'm just not now. I got little girls that want to watch stuff like this all the time, the fairy tales and things like that. That's fine, but it's not a big draw for me. But in this game, I bought in. You know what I mean? I bought in because of all the other things that were just hitting on all pistons. Now, I will go on ahead and say, when it comes to the gameplay, if all you were doing were gathering resources and actually building your houses, this game would be boring to me because it's done a million times before and in many other games. But when you add in the friend cards, when you add in the fable cards that really change the game up so significantly, especially with characters like Pinocchio, which, you can actually lie, or are you lying, or you can use different kinds of the giants and the trolls and stuff, the dragon that will destroy things. That's what makes this game fun. And there is a little bit of take that in this game. Actually, there can be quite a bit, I also liked how quick this game was. In general, you're not playing more than an hour. Heck, you might not even hit 45 minutes necessarily, depending on player count. I thought this worked well at every player count, except I preferred it more with 3 and 4. I know I say that on a lot of games, but some games just pull 2-player off extraordinarily well. Some games just don't. I'm not saying this one doesn't, but this is the type of game I like to have more raucous good time with instead of I'm just playing against you, I'm just playing against you. And granted, you have the die that goes in there that has that simulated 3rd player, but overall, I liked it at a higher player count because there's more people to have fun with. Now, if there are any negatives to the game, it could be that children may have a hard time with the take that elements. Now, it depends on your kid. It can be a good teaching tool as well to learn how to be, a good winner, good loser, things of that nature. And also how to deal with setbacks in life. So depending on your child or your children, they may or may not like that element to it. It may frustrate them, but at the same time, it can be a great teaching tool, so keep that in mind. So it's a negative depending on how you look at it. But overall, I'm giving this game an 8 out of 10. When it comes to production quality, the actual fun factor, this is a game that I could see every family owning. You know what I mean? And as long as their kids are okay with some of that, take that element in the game is on the lighter side. So there's not a whole ton of meat in it in terms of, deep strategy and things like that. But I think if you got a family, this is a great one to have in your collection. Have you gotten a chance to play it yet? What do you think? Do you think the game's overproduced or underproduced? What are your thoughts on it? Because again, I've heard that from all different people. I personally don't necessarily think it is, but I know some people are going to disagree with that. So anyway, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it overall. Anyway, thank you again. You have a blessed day and game away.